Long wait lists for a bed at a Medicaid addiction treatment center are part of the norm for people like you and me. But what if I told you there is power in the waiting? If you don't know me yet, my name is Adam Vibe Gunson, and I'm the founder of Recovered on Purpose, a nonprofit organization on a mission to help addicts recover, help other addicts, and deter kids from using drugs. I want to take a moment to speak directly to anyone who's stuck on a wait list for Medicaid inpatient rehab or is discouraged to even get on the wait list to start their recovery journey. Listen, I've been where you are. 7 years ago, I was homeless, addicted, and waiting for a spot to open up in a rehab in Billings, Montana. I felt hopeless at times, but I made it through. And you want to know the crazy part? I actually got sober without ever going to that inpatient rehab. They called me when my bed opened up, and I said, actually, I'm good. I was closing in on 60 days sober at the time. Now, I'm not saying you don't need it, but while you're waiting, there are some powerful steps you can take right now to kickstart your recovery. These are the same things I did, and I'm here to help you do them too. If you haven't yet, subscribe to this channel and engage with the content by commenting, liking, and sharing so we can get this message to the addicts still suffering. So, if you're ready to take action, let's dive into what you can do while on a wait list for Medicaid rehab beds to open up. Step 1, and this is a big one, connect to your support system. Look, I get it. When you're waiting for a rehab, it's easy to feel isolated and alone, but you don't have to go through this by yourself. When I was in your shoes, one of the first things I did was build a schedule around support groups like 12-step fellowships, a Bible study, church, friends, and mentors. If you don't have close family or many friends to turn to, that's okay. A popular term used in 12-step fellowships is, we will love you until you learn to love yourself. Don't be afraid to speak up in a meeting and say, hey, I'm on day 1, and I'm also waiting for a bed at a treatment center. I don't know what to do and need help. This kind of statement is powerful in those rooms, and people will be coming over to you after the meeting and offering all kinds of love and support. We have all been in your shoes. You can easily find meetings by Googling AA meetings near me, or NA meetings near me, or CA meetings near me. AA is for alcoholics, NA is for drug addicts, and CA is for people who identify as both. I'm not claiming membership to any of these fellowships, but I do qualify for all the A's out there, and they have all loved and supported me at one point or another. Bottom line, you don't have to do this alone. Reach out, build your support system, and get connected with people who want to see you recover. Step 2, get involved in outpatient services. Now, just because you're waiting for inpatient doesn't mean you have to sit around and wait for help. Step 2 is to get involved in outpatient services right now. I'm telling you, you can start working on your recovery today, and Medicaid covers a lot more than most people realize. When I was waiting, I got connected to an outpatient program I went to once a week, and it made a huge difference in my life, even if just to have that thing in my schedule for recovery I felt accountable to. You can find counseling, therapy, group sessions, all kinds of things that will help you stabilize and start building the habits you need for long-term recovery. You might not be living at the facility, but you're still doing the work, getting support, and staying accountable. Plus, if you're dealing with any mental health issues like anxiety or depression, which a lot of us in recovery do, outpatient therapy can help you manage that while you wait for your spot in rehab. So, make those calls, look up outpatient services that accept Medicaid in your area, and get started today. You can also look up your state on our Medicaid Rehab directory in all 50 states that we'll have linked in the description of this video. Inpatient rehab isn't the only way to get help. Help is out there right now, and it's waiting for you. Step 3, build healthy habits. Step 3 is all about getting your body and mind in the right place by building healthy habits now. Don't wait for rehab to start changing your lifestyle. Start making small changes today that will set you up for success in recovery. One of the biggest shifts for me was getting into a routine. When I was in active addiction, my life had no structure. But once I started building a daily routine, everything began to change. I got a bed at a sober living house called Ignatius House, shout out Richard Todd, and one of the rules was making your bed every morning. Now, not only did I make my bed every morning, but I did 20 jumping jacks, 20 sit-ups, and 20 push-ups first thing in the morning. This began to build a habit of exercise and working on myself, and today I'm benching over 315 pounds and have ran a mile in under 6 minutes. You don't need to go crazy with it comparing your health to where someone else is right now. Just start simple. I was 148 pounds. I'm 220 now. That's a big difference, but it took all 7 years. Wake up at the same time every day, eat something healthy for breakfast, get outside, go for a walk, or do something active. I'm telling you, movement can be a game changer. It clears your mind, reduces stress, and boosts your energy. You can watch our video, Exercise and Mental Health, that I'll have at the end of this video. Another habit I started building while I was waiting for rehab was cutting out negative people. I started focusing on things that made me feel better, not worse, and people who are not using. The point is, recovery isn't just about getting sober. It's about building a whole new way of living. And the sooner you start building those healthy habits, the stronger your recovery will be, whether you're in rehab or not. So start today, because little changes add up to big results. Step 4, shift your mindset. All right, step 4 is where the real transformation starts, shifting your mindset. I can't stress this enough. Your mindset is everything in recovery. While you're waiting for that spot in rehab, you've got to start working on how you think about yourself, your recovery, and your future. When I was stuck on that waiting list, one of the most powerful things I did was start feeding my mind with positive, recovery-focused content. I read every self-help book I could get my hands on, listened to recovery speakers, and watched motivational videos. One of those recovery speaker videos ended up being where I found what I needed to recover. Instead of dwelling on my past mistakes or feeling sorry for myself, I started focusing on where I wanted to go and the person I wanted to become. Here's the deal. You are not your addiction. You are not your past. And you don't have to wait for rehab to start seeing yourself differently. Every day, start reminding yourself that you're capable of change, that recovery is possible for you, and that you deserve a better life. The more you focus on that, the more it becomes your reality. I also want to encourage you to get into the habit of journaling. It might sound simple, but writing down your thoughts, your goals, and even your fears can help you get a clear picture of what's going on in your head. And once it's on paper, it's a lot easier to see what's holding you back and what needs to change. I also have a popular video that gives positive affirmations for addicts in recovery that I'll link at the end of this video, and you can find more positive affirmations and exercises in the free relapse prevention video I've linked in the description below. Shifting your mindset doesn't mean everything gets easy overnight. It takes effort, but the more you work on it, the stronger you'll become mentally. Now, let's talk about step 5. Practice mindfulness and relaxation. I know this might sound a little out there, specifically when you're in the middle of a tough time, but hear me out. Learning how to calm your mind is a game changer in recovery. When I was waiting for rehab, my mind was constantly racing, thoughts about the past, anxiety about the future, and just stress from the whole situation. One of the best things I did for myself was start practicing mindfulness. And no, you don't need to be a monk to do this. It's as simple as taking a few minutes out of your day to slow down, breathe deeply, and focus on the present moment. I'm running out of places to put videos at the end of this, but you can find a guided meditation for addicts in early recovery and a mindfulness-based relapse prevention video in the description below. These will walk you through this step and help you come back to it every day. You're just giving yourself permission to relax for a few minutes, and you'll be surprised how much this can reduce stress. Another thing that helps me is prayer. Whether it's through prayer and meditation, connecting to something bigger than yourself can bring a sense of peace and hope in your life. And if you don't know Him yet, it's okay. God is still here for you, and this is Him saying hello right now, and He is excited to hear from you in a quick prayer as simple as, I don't know you yet, God, but I want to. Please help me and guide me through this time. So, take time for yourself every day, breathe, remember that it's okay to slow down, and your recovery will thank you for it soon. All right, step 6 is one that can make or break your recovery while you're waiting for rehab. Avoid temptations. Trust me, I know how hard this can be, but it's absolutely crucial to your success. When I was waiting for a spot in rehab, I had to make some tough decisions. I realized I couldn't keep hanging around the same people, going to the same places, or doing the same things that were pulling me back into my addiction. At the time, it really just meant I had to shut off my Facebook completely and stop going over to the trap house to hang out. If you want to stay on track, you've got to protect your environment. This means staying away from people, places, and situations that could cause you to be around drugs or alcohol and trigger you to use. Think about it. Is there someone in your life who's still using? Do you find yourself going to places where you used to drink or use drugs? Those situations are dangerous for your recovery, and now's the time to set some boundaries. It's not about cutting people off forever, but while you're working on yourself, it's okay to step back from anything or anyone that could jeopardize your sobriety. Here's another big one: boredom. Boredom is a huge trigger for a lot of people in recovery. When you've got too much time on your hands, it's easy for your mind to wander back to old habits. That's why building a routine, like we talked about earlier, is so important. Stay busy, stay focused, and don't give yourself the chance to get bored or fall back into old patterns. It's also a good idea to clean up your physical environment. If you have any old reminders of your addiction around, whether it's paraphernalia, alcohol, or even certain kinds of music or movies that bring up bad memories, get rid of it. You're creating a new space for yourself, one that supports your recovery, not your addiction. And now, step 7. Get ready for rehab, but don't lose focus on what you can do now. I know waiting can feel like you're stuck in limbo, but you can use this time to get prepared. And I'm not just talking about packing a bag. There's mental, emotional, and practical preparation you can do right now to set yourself up for success. First, let's talk about the basics. Make sure you have all your paperwork in order. Medicaid requires certain documentation, and the rehab facility might ask for things like ID, proof of insurance, or medical history. Start gathering those things now, so when that call comes, you're ready to roll. You'll also want to make any necessary arrangements with your family, work, or responsibilities. Maybe you need to let your employer know that you'll be away, or maybe you need to organize childcare or household duties. By getting these things squared away now, you can enter rehab with a clear mind, knowing everything is taken care of. But just as important as the practical stuff is the mental preparation. This is a big one. I know from experience that the idea of going to rehab can stir up a lot of emotions, fear, anxiety, doubt. That's normal. But while you're waiting, focus on what this opportunity means for you. Rehab is a chance for you to dive deep into your recovery, to learn new tools, and to fully commit to changing your life. Use this time to reflect on what you want out of your recovery. Start setting some goals. Why are you going to rehab? What do you want to learn? What kind of person do you want to be when you leave? By thinking about these things now, you'll enter rehab with a clear sense of purpose and motivation. But here's the key. Don't just sit around waiting. Rehab is a part of your journey, but it's not the whole thing. Your recovery starts now, and you can make progress even before you walk through those doors. Stay engaged with your outpatient services, stick to the healthy habits you're building, and keep working on shifting your mindset. Every bit of progress you make now is going to set you up for success when you go into rehab. So get prepared, stay focused, and remember, you're already on path to recovery. Rehab will help you go deeper, but the work towards recovery starts today as you begin living recovered on purpose. If you want to watch exercise and mental health, click right here. Or if you want to watch positive affirmations for addicts in early recovery, click right here.